Well, hello. 'Cause I love you. Okay, today it's about decision making because I made a decision and then I didn't act. But then I did act. But then I was afraid I was going to be wrong. And then I was wrong. And then I got scared. And then I stopped acting. And then I started to act again. And then I found a little faith. You get it? It's kind of like a rough process, decision making, because there's a lot of fear behind making the wrong decision. I remember years ago when I was thinking about buying my condo, I had all these options for financing, and I'm like, oh, put the mortgage, put the taxes in with the mortgage, don't pay the taxes, get an adjustable rate, do it like this, do it like that. I talked to everybody I knew, either from experience or professional background that knew anything about mortgages, and I just stayed stuck because I was afraid. And the more afraid I was, the more stuck I stayed because I kept looking for that perfect answer that would remove the fear. And there isn't one. There never will be one because it's the fear that needs to be addressed, not the logical decision making. And the truth is that if you're at a crossroads, right, and you have either this way to go or that way to go about a decision, you have absolutely no idea what's going to happen in each case. And so it absolutely behooves you to make a decision and decide on a course and take a step. Because otherwise, you'll stay in overanalysis and never do anything in your life. You'll just continue to get stuck around why you can't do things because of this and that and all these other obstructions, most of which are just based in your fear and messaging that you learned about why you shouldn't take risks. Because everything is a risk. And let me tell you what happened. I made a decision. I signed up for everything. First things first, as soon as I made the decision and took action, a lot of that fear went away, right? So it wasn't so much like that the fear was real. Oh my God, what happens if I'm wrong? Oh my God, what if I don't like the place? Oh my God, what if I run out of money? Oh my God, what if it's a bad decision? All these different doubts were creeping in. And the antidote to the doubts is to take the action and not just make a decision, but act on it. And that's what I did. Post 8 years later, I lost that place. I lost all my money. Everything turned out bad, right? Like the result of that decision made in that way, and then the subsequent years around interest rates and other environmental, social, and political factors changed what happened and the comfort I felt when I first made that decision into something else later on, which I had no crystal ball to understand that that would come down the pike. And so you have to understand that there's an inherent risk taking and that you're going to be all right. Most of decision making for people doesn't have to do with the numbers and the analytics. They think it does. So they spend a lot of time up here stressing out over making these decisions and trying to run the right numbers and the logic that fits in the box. And meanwhile, you're dealing with a fluid circle. So numbers are coming in and out and your feelings are coming in and out. And for me, what always needs to be addressed is the feeling, right? And the feeling is predominantly addressed, no matter what the feeling is, by taking contrary action. So if I'm over analyzing what to do in a decision making process, I need to stop, come down, maybe say a little prayer, do a little meditation, sit with myself and my discomfort, and just make the best decision I know how to make in that moment. Because regardless of what happened with the circumstances, regardless of what happens later, regardless of any fear that you have, the truth is that if you do what you desire, it's going to be all right. If you go down the road that you want to take, despite anything you might be afraid of, you're going to be fine. And that doesn't mean when I say you're going to be fine, that doesn't mean that some of the things you're afraid of won't happen. But you see, this life is not about avoiding fear. This life is about confronting those fears. This life is about looking them square in the eye and being like, okay, fear, I'm not afraid of you. Because for me and for a lot of people that I work with, what that fear is about is someone else's messaging that was passed down or passed in or passed on about lack and poverty and what if you make a mistake, and when you make a mistake you're gonna look stupid, and what if you lose everything or you're left out in the cold or you don't have a place to live. I mean, these deep, dark, real fears of loneliness and darkness and death that have been amplified into the voices of other people that, for example, there's people who've written books about this, right? Like the fear of a saber-toothed tiger eating you was real. But now we react to like somebody walking in front of us on a line, like we reacted, well, like we're reacting to a saber-toothed tiger. So the reaction that we're having is not real. So the reaction, you want to put that to the side by reacting in a different direction and reacting towards your desire and re-engaging your love, your desire, and your dreams instead of your fears and the idea that there's a tiger waiting on the other side of your decision. No one's waiting to eat you alive. You're going to be fine. We're all going to be fine. If you have any questions or you need any help with that, overcoming fear, making decisions, just getting unstuck in general because you're way too successful and intelligent and you think you're able to find all your own answers, you give me a holler or send me a message anytime. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a great day.